So for the purposes of this review, I'm just going to refer to this watch as the Watch 11. There is an 11 Pro that is also made by IWO, but it is not part of their one-to-one series, which means that it's not meant to be as close of a replica of the real Apple Watch as the one-to-one series is, meant to be a clone, as close to a clone as possible. So I'm going to, in this segment, I'm going to discuss the merits of the Watch 11 as an Apple Watch clone, and also its usability, and also maybe compare it to a previous watch that I had looked at, a previous clone that I had looked at, which was the Lemfo W26. The processor is a lot better, a lot faster than on the W26, which when I had it on the smartwatch user interface, it was there was a bit of a lag. However, this one is quite smooth. There is no discernible lag that I can see, and it works quite well. Also the brightness. So the brightness on this is at the lowest setting, plus I have it on night mode. So think of this as an extension of your phone. So if you're running and you have your phone in your pocket or your backpack, but you don't want to miss any notifications, this will do that for you. It will send you a reminder that you got an email from Joe or whatever, or you got a message on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. Anything that you have set as a notification on your phone will be mirrored on this device as well. So your ability to read and respond to those messages is fairly limited. So you can read the messages in its entirety. However, you won't be able to respond to it. You can make phone calls, you can make text messages, send text messages from this device, as long as your phone is accessible. The other thing that it has is a lost feature, anti-lost feature is what it's called. So essentially, if your watch and your phone become separated to the point where they are too far from each other, which I found was about 2 or 3 meters, it will buzz or alert you that your phone is lost, or essentially your Bluetooth connection has been interrupted. The only problem with that is that I've found that when I put my phone in my pocket sometimes, it will set off that alert, and then I'll just have to reconnect it. So that part is a bit annoying. The other thing that I found was that the alarm, even though it works independently of your phone, when the alarm goes off, I can't seem to turn it off by just pressing these buttons, which is good, I guess, because then you won't be able to snooze and fall asleep easily. But so essentially, to turn off the alarm, you'd have to go into the alarm screen and actually physically depress or press that button there to turn off the alarm. The other nice thing about this that was not available on the Lemfo clone is that it has a weather feature right here. And this is basically, it just syncs to your phone. So whatever your phone is displaying, it's mirrored here. And it is the same. All right, so pros and cons of the IWO Watch 11. So the pros are a faster processor, it's much nicer. Physically, aesthetically, more similar to an Apple Watch, a genuine Apple Watch, than any of the other clones that I've seen, or the Lemfo W26, which is probably the most common clone out there, because it has this button there. A lot of them do not have that button. So I would say that the only downside aesthetically that would help you to decipher this from a real Apple Watch would be that lip on the top and the bottom. Functionality wise, it has all the features that the Apple Watch SE has, with the exception of the fall detection, because it does not have the accelerometer, and the noise app alert. So it will not warn you if the sounds around you is getting too loud, but I would think that you would know when the sounds were beginning to be too loud. And yeah, anyway, as far as comparing it to the Lemfo W26, which is a clone of the Series 6 Apple Watch, this one has a faster processor than that one. The screen quality, I would say, is better on this, with the exception of that lip. So as far as sport modes go, it only has 4, as opposed to the W26, which has 7. So it has walking, running, cycling, and climbing. So I don't know if it's different if you had an Android device, but I have an iPhone, and when I go into camera mode, it will take the photo, but I can't see the photo, basically the viewfinder. I can't see it on my watch. I would have liked for that to be something that I could do. Now I don't know if that's a feature that was on the W26, because that one didn't do it either. So in summary, overall, I'd say this is a great value. It's about $5 or $6 more than the Lemfo W26 Series 6 clone. It looks more like an Apple Watch, so if you were wearing it, no one would be able to tell if that's your goal. As far as functionality goes, the faster processor is nice. The quality of the screen, and having the ability to have 31 different watch faces for a device that doesn't allow the option to be able to download more watch faces. Having a good amount of watch faces is going to be key to the overall look and the satisfaction with the device, in my opinion. Credibility of the heart rate monitor and the other sensors on here, it's pretty comparable to the Lemfo W26, which by comparison to a real Apple Watch, it was about 5 to 7 beats per minute faster or slower than the Apple Watch. And the Apple Watch has already gone through a lot of testing, so there's a lot of reviews available on YouTube and various sources that essentially compare the Apple Watch heart rate tracking with other devices, and it came out to be pretty accurate. So if the Apple Watch is accurate and this is about 5 to 7 beats per minute more or less, I'd say it's pretty good. So I did mention that this came with a GPS capability. So why is that important? So if you're walking and you're going a certain distance and it's tracking your heart rate, this actually will be able to tell you how far accurately you've gone, as opposed to the W26, which does not have onboard GPS, so it can't tell you how many miles you've actually taken, and that kind of thing. So I would think that it would lead to a more accurate reading of your activity. Also, if you look at the app, there are a lot more kind of features on there that will read the data that is coming off of your device, and it will tell you it will kind of show a map of your track for your particular run or hike or whatever the case is. So I do like that feature. The other thing I had mentioned in my review on the W26 is that I didn't like the fact that it didn't tell me how many calories I burned. I like to see how many calories I'm doing when I'm doing cardio because I hate it. So I just want to get it over with. So I like to be rewarded by that data. So here it will tell you at the end of your activity how many calories you burned. I'd say it's pretty accurate based on the formulas that it's using. You can Google the formula yourself and come to the same conclusion. It just kind of gives you a quicker way to come up with those numbers. But I like having that on there.